helps us to store the result of a query temporarily. Okay. So before we begin, let's talk about this topic called common table expressions. Mm, Next week you will encounter one topic called subquery. So this is like a small precursor to that. So what this common table expression does is, um, we'll see more joins. So remember this definition. It's a named temporary result set. CTE is a named temporary result set that exists within the scope of a statement, single statement, and can be referred to multiple times within that single statement. So what does this mean is that when you write a query, say a complex query, when you write a complex query and you get an answer, right? What if you want to take that answer and do something else with it? Say, for example, let's say that let's say that you have a say continent, say Asia, population is 10 million average, Africa population is 9 million. This you would have gotten already after some kind of aggregation, group by, right? What if you want to do something further from with this? Uh, what if you want to do further from this data? For example, you want to find uh, the maximum of these max of these average um, populations. So already you found average populations for each continent. On top of this, you want to find what is the max of all of these averages, right? So this is already, so you have to further process it and do some work, right? So for this kind of reason, you will require a way to store the result temporarily in one location and further process it. Okay, so basically CTE helps us to store the result of a query temporarily and then use it later. Okay, so for example, so the syntax is with, and then you have to give the, so this is usually called the with clause. You will encounter with clause in Python as well. So the syntax is with the CTE name as, and then you have to write the query here. So this output of this query will be temporarily stored inside this name, and then you can query this select all from CTE name. So you can just query as if this is a table. Okay, so you run a query, you store the result of this query temporarily to it's not a temporary table, common table expression, and then you can query this common table expression multiple times. So let's see how we do this. So let's take this world database. So I'll just call it as CT1 as, and here I'm going to say select say continent, comma, say average of population from world dot country group by continent. Okay, so if I run this query alone, we have done this several times already. You will encounter that we'll get an answer like this for each continent, a particular population. Now I'm taking the output of this and I'm storing it as CT. Now I can say select all from CTE1. So here I can say I can find the max of, let's call this as AVG population, and I can say AVG underscore pop. So you can see I'm getting the maximum of all of this is something like 726. So which is that continent. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter. So it's Asia. Okay. So I'm taking this result set. I'm taking this result set and I'm putting it inside a temporary common table expression. And then I am now querying the common table expression. Okay. So this is what is called C common table expression. So just complete this. So this is very useful. So in one, so the thing about this common table expression is I cannot now once this query is over, I cannot use the CTE now. So I cannot come out here and say select all from CTE1. If I run this, it will say no such table exists. So the scope of the CTE is what? How long is the CTE alive? within the scope of a single statement. Okay, so once this statement is over, the CTE no longer exists. So with the scope of the CTE is within a single statement. Okay, it is no longer, once you get out of this query, the CTE no longer exists. But within this query, you can use it as many number of times as you want. Okay, so try this. Yes. So you can have which CTE1 as this, CTE2 as this, CTE3 as this. So you can have 3 CTEs and do something with three tables. Yes, that's possible. Within a single with clause. Okay, so this is common table expression. There is something else called temporary tables. See, so far we have been using tables, right? This is CTE. Then there is something else called temporary tables. But they are different from CTEs. CTEs are valid only within the statement, whereas temporary tables are valid for a session. So once you close workbench, temporary tables will go away. Yes, what's your doubt? That is one statement, right? This is one query. You cannot access it outside of that query. No. You can, once the semicolon means that the query has ended, right? After this, the CT is no longer alive, no longer active. No, you cannot use that CT. For definitions, look up your MySQL workbench. The definitions will be very clear there. We'll do more problems, you'll understand. Okay. So CTs help us to, just this is a very simple example. We'll do some proper examples. So CTs help us to store a data result. The output, it's not stored anywhere, just stored in the memory and then used it many number of times. You can run this many number of times. Okay, fine. So you can also have multiple CTs within a same statement. When we encounter such problems, we will write them. But I want you to remember this. This is a very, very important class in SQL. This common table expression is a very, very important class, and it will be very useful in situations we will encounter. So don't worry, we'll see all problems. You will understand a lot more better, but just now understand what is CT. That's all. Okay, so let's maybe solve one more problem. Hmm. Okay. So let's say that remember we tried to answer this question a long time back. So select all countries having population greater than the average population of the world. So we were trying to write that average population in the where clause, right? So we were trying to write select name from world dot country where population is greater than of average. This is what we were trying to write, and we couldn't run this because aggregations are not allowed in the where clause. Okay, aggregations are not allowed in the where clause. So we were not able to run this. So how do I substitute this information here? So maybe what we can do is let's try this with CTE1 as, and let's write the CTE1 for just finding the average population of the world. I mean, technically, I could just write a having clause here, but that is fine. So I'm just trying to illustrate a point. So it's need not be perfect. From world dot country. So let's say that this CT now has just one single value called as average population from this entire world. Okay. Now, if I run this select all from CTE1, so you will notice that I'm getting just one answer. So can I write something like this? So select name from world dot country where population is greater than okay, let's try that. So first of all, is this legal? Let's run this and see. So CT1, why is it saying unknown? So because it doesn't know that it's a table, right? So you cannot write it like this. It's a table. It's supposed to act like a table. So how do I introduce CT1 here? I mean, this is a overkill example, but let's say that I want to bring CT1 here. For example, let's say, how can I bring this CT1's data here? I can just say, I mean, this technically this is called a subquery, but anyway, I'll just write it. Select average underscore population from CTE1. Okay. So if you run this, these are all the countries that are having population greater than the average population of the world. This is an unnecessary statement, but I'm just writing it to help you understand how the CTE works. I could just write this in a much simpler way. So what I'm saying is, I'm storing the average population inside the CTE. Then this is a normal query. I'm selecting all the countries from world.country where the population is greater than, I'm just querying this average population. That is all. Okay. I am just storing this average population and I'm just querying it over here. Okay. So this is another simple application of CTE. We'll see much more complex examples later. Okay. So if you see, imagine that now the CTE1 has only one value called average pop, some values there. Okay. Next, ignore this part completely. Now this is our main query, right? Select name from world.country. This is our main query where population is greater than. Now I am just directly querying the CT. Now what is there inside the CT? Just only one value. So that value ends up coming here, and I'm able to get all the countries where the population is greater than the average population. Okay, so this is how we use CTEs. Just a very simple explanation. So we just basically store it, use it. Don't think more than that. We store the answer somewhere, and then wherever we want, you can use it. That's all. So since we cannot write population greater than average population here, I'm just calculating average population separately, storing it in a CTE, calling the CTE here. There are better ways to calculate, do this, but I want you to understand CTEs. That's why I wrote it like this. Okay. So basically, in simple words, CTE helps us store a result set temporarily so that we can use it later. That is all. That's the simplest explanation for what is a CTE. So you can name the CTE whatever you want. Okay, I prefer to you name it as CTE 1, 2, 3. You can name it as ABCD, whatever you want. There is no naming rule here. So you can name it whatever you want. Just use the same name here. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing, but so after this we'll go back to our joins. So when it comes to CTEs, aliasing is very important. Okay, if you don't alias, you cannot call it very easily. So always alias your columns, especially when your columns have aggregations, so that then you can directly use it here. So in CTEs, aliasing is very important. ஒண்ணுமே எழுத மாட்டேங்குது, எல்லாம் எழுதிட்டு இருந்துச்சு, திடீர்னு எதுவுமே எழுதல. தேங்க்யூ. எதுவா இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல. So yesterday we were discussing joins, right? So what all the different joins we discussed? Okay, inner. Okay, left join, right? Full outer join. In fact, these things are sometimes called as left outer, right outer, full outer. Okay. When I say left join, some people call it as left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. Okay. So what is the definition of inner join? Whatever rows match that on condition from both the tables. So only matching rows. Only the matching rows. So that is inner join. What is left join? Okay, all rows from the left table plus matching from the matching data from the other table. Similarly, all rows from the right table plus matching data, whatever is matching that condition. Of course, full outer is nothing but all data from all tables with matching data, basically. So it is left plus right plus matching data. Okay. So all data from both the tables plus wherever it is matching, there will be some this left table and right table will go inside each other. That is all. Wherever the data matches, that is all. So this is I mean that depends on how you write it, but fine. So this is inner, left, right, full, outer. 95%, 90% of the time you will end up using these three joins only. You will end up using these three joins. And okay, so now let's say that I write a join like this: select all from cricket, inner join, football, and then I forget to write the on clause. Okay, I forget to write the on clause. I hope it was day 4 or day 3 or day 4. I think I accidentally named it as day 3. Okay, fine. Day 3. Okay, fine. Cricket does not exist. No, let me just check. What happened? Where did that cricket table go? No, yesterday we were making some joins, right? Did we create a database called day 4? But where did it go? Is it inside class? Yes, it's inside class. Okay. Okay. So you guys choose where the database is. So what will happen if I write an inner join and then I forget the on condition? So listen to this. So if you accidentally forget the on condition, you will end up with a cross join. Even though you type inner join there, if you forget the on condition, if you accidentally forget the on condition, you will be left with cross join. See, 4 into 4, 16 rows. Okay, so do not forget the on condition. Even if you mention inner, let's try left here. So at least from left join, it is throwing an error. But if I say inner, it is not even throwing an error. It is just giving me a cross join. Okay, so even if you accidentally if you forget to write the on condition, you will get a cross join. So please be very careful with that. So if you really want a cross join, you use the word cross here, cross join. Okay. If you really want to use cross join, specifically say cross join in that join clause. Okay, so this is cross join. You guys know what is cross join, right? It is a Cartesian product of two tables. So every row in one table, left table will be multiplied with every row in the right table. Okay, it's Cartesian product of two tables. So it will be a very expensive operation. Imagine that you do a cross join on a big table. What will happen is it can even cause the server to crash because you will get a Cartesian product. You will get so many rows. So be very careful with either cross joins or forgetting to write the on condition. That will result in a lot of issues. Okay, so that is cross join. Next, there is one join called natural join. There is a join called natural join. So what this natural join does is, in natural join, this on condition is not written. Okay, in natural join, the on condition is not written. You should not write the on condition. So how will MySQL determine on what condition to join? What it will do is, it will look at, let's say table has table A is here and table B is here, and table A has 3 columns, say name, age, um, let's say phone number. Another table has name, age, email. 2 tables are here. And if I do a join between these 2 tables and I make this a natural join, what happens is, whatever column names are common between the 2 tables will be used to join them. So what will be the on condition? It will be a.name is equal to b.name and a.age is equal to b.age. So we will not be writing this. MySQL will automatically interpret this. Okay, so that will become the join condition. So in natural join, we don't write the join class, but we leave it to SQL to figure out what are the common columns between the 2 tables. And according to SQL, if the names of the columns are the same, it will perform a join based on all those things. If there's one column, if there is no column, what will happen? If there is no common column between the 2 tables, let's try that. So okay, first let's try this cricket and football. Let's do natural join. Okay, what kind of join answer will I get? Because cricket and football table has only one common column, right? Name. So what answer will I get out of this? I just use the word natural. So what answer will I get? What will be the on condition? This name alone, right? So this will, if I so it's equal to writing a join with this condition. So I'll get an inner join, right? I will get the same answer as that of a inner join. Okay, and in this I can also control the type of join as well. I can specify inner, I want natural inner. I can say I want natural inner join. I can say I want natural left join. I can say I want natural right join. I can specify the type of join here as well. Okay, so this is called natural join. You are not supposed to just, I mean, this also please be very careful. I would say avoid natural joins altogether. You, even if it takes a little bit extra time, write your on condition and specify the type of join properly. Don't leave it to SQL to figure out what is the common columns and do the join according to it. Some people might do it in certain situations. Certain situations you might have to do this because dynamically two tables can be different. So at that time you cannot write the join condition. So at that time you can use these kinds of joins. Okay, so this is natural join basically. So I'll just put all the three types here: natural left, natural inner, natural right. Okay, so the only difference is we don't specify the on condition. We leave the on condition to the SQL DBMS. Let the DBMS figure out what are all the common columns and join based on those common columns. So if all the columns are common between the two tables, then what will happen? What will be the answer? What if I write something like this? Okay, I just 1 minute, just think about this. What answer will I get if I do something like this? Select all from cricket, natural join cricket. What answer will I get? Yeah. What? How many rows will I get? Okay, let me be very specific. I'm saying the same table on both sides. So here, when I say natural join, what will be the default join? Inner. Okay, I'll write inner here as well. So what are the common columns between the two tables now? Name as well as runs. So so what? So the same set of rows will match with the same set of rows. So we'll get the same number of rows, right? 4 rows. So let's see. Okay, so it's actually asking us to give a different alias. So let's call this as A. Let's call this as B. So you can see that I'm getting the same table back. Okay, so this is I just want you to understand what happens if you just put the same table on both sides. You get the same table back. Okay, so just don't bother about this. Just take down this natural join. So we have seen inner, left, outer, full outer, then cross join, natural. We have inner, left, right. Then we have seen equi joins. So the problem with the natural join is it can be only an equi join, right? Can a natural join be a non-equi join? No, it's not possible because we don't have control over the on condition. So natural joins are equi joins. So the on condition will only have an equal to symbol. Yesterday we did a non-equi join, remember? So a.name is greater than b.name. So that is a non-equi join. That is a non-equi join. Okay. So this is all about joins. We have covered all the types of joins. Now we have to solve some problems to understand this concept further properly. Theoretically, this is over. See, what if I randomly write something like this? Select all, yes. Select all from say world dot country natural join. No, let's not try this. You will get confused. So what I was trying to say is let there be. I just want two tables that are nothing in common. Is there any table that we can use? Department. Department ID, department name. Okay. So we have, I just have one. Okay, there is no data here. Fine, we'll just do that at some other time when we have some table that we get from. Then there is something called self join. So self join is when you try to join the same table with itself. So it's not a type of join, but it's just a way of writing. So I wrote just now, right? Cricket and cricket on both sides. So when the same table is joined with itself, it is called self join. You don't have to same table with itself. So we had one employee table, right? Okay, this one is useless for us. So we'll see one example of self join later, but just remember that when you join a table with itself, that's called a self join. Okay. So everything covered here. Okay, so now open your in-class content for today. See, they have also given one separate SQL file called data tables. So they have given one SQL file here. So just run that SQL file. I don't know what you are going to get out of it. So yes, you are going to get customer table and some tables you are going to get. So just in which database are these tables going to be stored at? They have not mentioned database. So just add one new database. Let's call this as day 4 or something. Create database day 4 and then use day 4 and then just run everything. So we are getting these many tables. Account something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables we are getting. So ensure that you are getting these 7 tables, and then now open your in-class questions file. There is another schema.zip. What is this schema.zip? Okay, there they have given another set of content there inside. Okay, let me just check this. Okay, fine. So ignore this day 4 thing. Okay, ignore this. Drop this. So they have given their own new. They have given one database called supply chain. So use that. So what I'm saying is there are so many repetitions of files everywhere. So what you do is inside this in class 4, there is one questions file and then there is one schema file. There is one schema file, right? So there are 3 schema files. Run all the 3 in that order. Okay, run all the 3 in that order. So first, so ignore this day 4 and all this. Let me just close all of this one. There are 3 files they have given inside something called schema.zip. Run all the 3 files in that order. So data case study 1.sql, run this. This is the first SQL file. Then open the data 1.sql, run this one. Wait until it completes. Then open the third file, data constraints, run this one as well. So run all the 3 files. Okay, one by one by one. This one, this one, this one. You don't have to write use day 4, create database day 4. Everything is very clearly mentioned there. And then after doing all of this, open your questions. 1, 2, 3, and then questions. Run these 3 files and then open the questions. Don't create any database. Let it be, they have given a very proper specification. Supply chain. So you should get these many tables inside supply chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables. Yes. Which one? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. No, you can put it anywhere. I'll just copy this to downloads. Then I'll also take the question. So I've got these 4 files, right? Open this file, run it, open this file, run it, open this file, run it, and then open this file. Questions. Yes. Mm. One by one, just drag it inside or open. No, you have to extract it first. Extract it out. It's extracted. Is it inside the file or is it extracted? Are you sure? No. Just click here somewhere. It's inside zip file, right? See, extract it first out, then drag it. It will come. If it's inside the zip, it will not come. Try that. First, extract the files out. Yes. இல்ல தெரியாம நீங்க ஒரு தடவை டிராப் பண்ணிட்டு ரன் பண்ணிடுறீங்களா? எல்லாத்தையுமே டிராப் அந்த சப்ளை செயின் டிபியை டிராப் பண்ணிட்டு அதை ரன் பண்ணுங்க. ஆமா. எஸ். என்னாச்சு? அது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணுங்க அத வெளிய. ஜிப் ஃபைல்குள்ள இருந்தா ஒர்க் ஆகாது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணி வெளிய போடுங்க. இத எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? அதே மாதிரி இதையும் இது எல்லாத்தையும் கூட எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணிட்டீங்க. இப்போ 4 ஃபைல் வந்துருச்சா? இப்போ இத ஃபுல்லா ரன் பண்ணிட்டு இத ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க. அவ்வளவுதான். இப்போ ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க, ஓபன் ஆகும். அப்படி ஓபன் பண்ணாதீங்க. அங்க போயிட்டு ஓபன் SQL ஸ்கிரிப்ட்னு கொடுத்து ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க. MySQL workbench போயிட்டு go to MySQL workbench. இங்க ஓபன் பண்ணீங்கன்னா இப்படி ஓபன் ஆகும். இப்படி ஓபன் ஆக கூடாது. அங்க கனெக்ட் பண்ணி யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்கல்ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் உங்களோட டேப்லாம் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணுங்க. இதெல்லாம் வேண்டாம். அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கனெக்ட் ஆகி ஒன்னு இருக்கும்ல, அதுக்குள்ள போயிட்டு ஃபைல் ஓபன் இல்லாட்டி டிராக் பண்ணி இதுல போடுங்க. ஒரு நிமிஷம். வந்துச்சா உங்களுக்கு? வந்துச்சா? சரி. எஸ். There was no safe update. So I gave, but before that I have run the code. So now when I run it again, it's just yes, drop this and run this once again. Drop the entire database. Yes. Yes. என்னாச்சு? ம் 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 ஸோ ஸ்டார்ட் கேரக்டரும் ஏஐஓயூல இருக்கணும், எண்டும் ஏஐஓயூ. அப்படிலாம் இங்க கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது நம்ம. ஐ மீன் அது அவங்க சொல்லல மென்ஷன் மீன் ஆமா இதுக்குள்ள இருக்கிறது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா திஸ் மைட் பி கேஸ் சென்சிட்டிவ். அது தெரியல எனக்கு என்னன்ட்டு. நீங்க MySQL ரன் பண்ண நீங்க DB2 ரன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. அதே தான் வருதா? ம் 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 இதுதான் ரன் ஆகுதுன்றீங்களா? ஆ ம் இல்ல நீங்க அந்த லொகேஷனை விட்டுருங்க. உங்களுடைய MySQLல இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஃபைண்ட் ஆல் த கண்ட்ரீஸ் தட் ஸ்டார்ட் வித் வவல்ஸ் அண்ட் வித் வவல்ஸ். இந்தியாவே பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸ்டார்டிங் எங்க உங்க லோக்கல் சிஸ்டம்ல அது நம்ம சால்வ் பண்ணுவோம். I'll take so question I'll solve. Okay. So did you all have this? Now I hope all of you have this supply chain. So first thing I want you to do is make an ER diagram. Okay, make a ER diagram. So go to database, reverse engineer. Next, put your password. Click next. This you have already done, right? So go to supply chain, click supply chain, click next. Keep clicking next until you get the diagram. So you will get an ER diagram like this. Because without this, you will not be able to identify which is connected to what. So make an ER diagram like this, and then export this as PDF. File, export as single page PDF. So I'll extract this ER diagram and send it your way if you want. So I'll just call this supply. So ensure that you have this ER diagram. Yes, 1 minute I'll come. I'll just put this inside R for sure. Yes, who called? Yes. Which table has null? Did you click on this flash button? Can you drop it and do it once again? Drop the entire supply chain. Just run it once and yes. எங்க வர மாட்டேங்குது? இது இங்க தான் வந்துருச்சுல்ல. இப்போ இதை அப்படியே ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க. இங்க போயிட்டு இப்படி ஓபன் பண்ணக்கூடாது. இங்க போயிட்டு ஃபைல் ஓபன் SQL ஸ்கிரிப்ட் போயிட்டு அங்க ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க. இங்க இருந்து ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க. இதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃபைல். இது ரன் பண்ணுங்க. அது மாதிரி 3 ஃபைலையும் ரன் பண்ணுங்க. எஸ். என்ன எரர் வருது? ஏதாவது தெரியாதமா டைப் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா அதுல? அதான் ரன் பண்ணீங்களா? ஒரு தடவை டிராப் பண்ணிட்டு திருப்பி ட்ரை பண்றீங்களா? ஆமா, ஃபுல்லா சப்ளை செயினே டிராப் பண்ணிட்டு அங்க இருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டு வாங்க. திருப்பி அந்த எரர் வருதான்னு பாருங்க. எஸ். நீங்க ஒரு தடவை ரன் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? அந்த அதெல்லாம் அந்த ER டயகிராம்லாம் வருதா உங்களுக்கு? அது பண்ணி பாருங்க. Sometimes when you run it multiple times it will throw an error. That's okay. Just guys, go to file and open your SQL script. Download it, extract it, put it in a location, open the SQL script from here. Okay. You should not get any errors. Just don't run it more than once. Ideally, you should not get any errors while running this. Don't run it more than once. You got it? This is the one that you're supposed to run, right? 1. Okay, so that is we disabled that in one of the class, right? Just remove this. Now I have to drop this. Okay. வந்துச்சா உங்களுக்கு? Okay. Have you got it? ரோஸ் வந்துச்சா? மூணாவது இது ரன் பண்ணீங்களா? அதுல தான் கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு. மூணாவது டேபிள், மூணாவது SQL ஃபைல். மூணுமே ரன் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? அடுத்தது ரன் பண்ணுங்க. மூணுமே ரன் பண்ணிட்டு எஸ். அப்படியே பண்ணலாம். கிரியேட் டேபிள்லயே பண்ணாம அப்ப ஆட் பண்ணாம இப்ப ஆட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. இல்லாட்டி இது கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட் ஒத்துக்காது. அது ஆல்ரெடி கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட்ஸ் இத ஃபில் ஆச்சுனா தான் இது அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்கும். இப்போ ஆட் பண்ணும்போதும் டேபிள்ல போய் செக் பண்ணுவோம். கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட் ஆல்ரெடி இருக்கான்னு. இருந்தா தான் ஆட் பண்ணுவோம். இல்லாட்டி ஆட் பண்ணாது. Okay, so let's start answering the questions. Okay. So find the total amount spent and the number of times products ordered by the customer whose ID is 85. Okay. So see, whenever you do joins, first try to identify what all information you need. I need the amount spent and the count of products, right? Number of times products was ordered. So count of products ordered. I need customer ID. So I'm just writing all of this down. So amount I need customer ID and then the product for getting the count. So which table has this information for us? In this ER diagram, which table has the information for us to calculate the amount? ID. Okay, let's start with ID. This is the easiest. Where is the customer ID? Here, right? Customer ID is here. So let's mark that. So we need this table. We need customer table. Okay. And how do I get the count of products ordered? That's what they asked, right? Number of times products ordered by the customer. So what is the count of order for the customer? So what data should I count? Okay, so number of orders for that customer, right? So should I count here? Shall I count this order ID? This is fine, right? This is the number of orders of that customer. So I need this information. Okay. Next, I need total amount spent. Where is that information? Okay, total amount is over here. Fine. So I need these three information. They're asking for total amount spent for each customer and the number of times products ordered by the customer whose ID is 85. Okay, fine. So now the data that is required for us is in two tables. One is orders table, customer table. So now I have to join these two tables. Now what is the relationship between these two tables? There is one arrow mark here, right? So there is one primary key, foreign key relationship. So what is the relationship between these two tables? So in fact, if you go to the model, if you just select this, you will notice that. So ID and customer ID. ID in the customer table is related to the customer ID, which is the foreign key in the orders table. Okay. So customer ID, ID. Fine. So how should I join these two tables? Join customers and orders using on customer.id is equal to orders.customer ID. Okay. So see, these two tables, if I have to join, I have to join using, just don't join using ID because this ID is different, this ID is different, right? This ID stands for customer ID. This ID stands for order ID. You cannot just say join using these two IDs just because they are common. This is why I said don't avoid natural joins. According to this way in which this table is structured, this ID is pointing towards this ID. Okay. Technically, that ID is pointing towards this ID. Okay, because this is the foreign key, this is the primary key. So this, which is the child table in this? Orders is the child table, customer is the parent table. So we need to join these two tables. So let me just write the join. So we have to say select whatever it is from, let me join customers, orders, customer, on, let's call this C, let's call this O. Everybody listen to this. If you have some pending imports, you do that later. On C dot ID, ID is equal to O dot customer ID. Customer ID. Okay, so this is our join. Now, what type of join should I use here? Should I use left or right or inner? Look at the question. We need to answer the question, right? So what join will give us sufficient data to answer our question? See, think about this. Okay, let's think all the three joins. Inner. If this customer has made some kind of order, we will get all the orders, all the count of orders as well as the total amount, right? This will satisfy our requirement. This is enough, right? You understand what I'm saying? Let's say I choose left. What happens? If this customer, see, imagine that this customer ID 85 is there, right? Let's take this customer ID 85. Imagine this customer has just signed up and has not made an order at all to this website. This customer has just signed up, has not made a single order. In inner join, will I get any answer? The customer has just signed up. He has not put any order so far. This customer ID 85. Will I get answer in inner join? So let me just, so if the customer has made orders, has not made orders, has made orders, not made orders. In inner join, what answer will I get? If he has made orders, we'll get the answer. If he has not made answers, we'll never get anything. We'll not get even a single row, right? Because this customer ID will not be there in the orders table. Okay, what about left join? If he has made orders, will we get the answer? Yes. If he has not made, will we get the answer? We will still get answer, right? We'll just get answer count as 0. We will get answer here. In case of left join, we will just get answer. So in case of inner join, see, I want you to listen to this very carefully. This customer, if he has placed order, let's say he has placed 2 orders worth 1,000 rupees, then we will get answer like this. If he has not placed an order, there will be no matching at all, so there will be no answer. In case of, if he has not made an order at all. In case of left, if he has made an order, he will get the same answer. But if he has not made an answer, still I will get 85, count is null, or this is null, right? Null in here means 0. I can take it as 0 here. In this case, I can take, if the count is null, it is 0 only, right? Obviously. So here I can use if null and make it as 0. So right is useless here because I need customer ID. Okay. So if you, so which is a safer option here, inner or left? Left is a safer option, right? Because even if the customer has not made any purchase, I will still get 0 counts, no amount spent, 0 amount spent. Okay, so you have to be very thoughtful about the type of join that you are going to use here. You have to be very thoughtful about the type of join that you are going to use here, because depending on the context, you will get different answers. Okay, so I don't know what this guy has done. So let's try this. Select. We'll fill the columns later. Okay, from customer. Of course, ensure that you are using supply chain. From customer, C, join orders O on. Can we use the using clause here? Using clause. Can we use the using clause here instead of on? Using. Yes or no? Yesterday we talked about this using clause, right? We cannot use the using clause, right? Why? Because the column names are not same, right? Here the column name is ID. This ID is pointing towards what? Customer ID, right? They are not common columns. They are not the same column names. So I cannot use the using clause. I have to write the on clause like this. Okay, so I cannot write using ID. Then the wrong, I will get some other wrong information. Okay, don't write using clause here. On C dot ID is equal to O dot customer ID. Now let's pick the columns that we need, which is customer ID, which is ID, right? C dot ID. We need the C dot ID, and then we need. First of all, let me put star here and run this. Okay, let's see whether this customer has made purchase. So you can see that yes, this customer ID 85 has made so much of purchases. But the thing is, why am I getting so many first names, last names here? I forgot to add the where class. Sorry. Yes. Where c.id is equal to 85. Okay, so I just filter it. So yes, this customer's name is Paul Henriette. So he has made these many orders. These are all the orders made by this guy. So you can see this part is from which table? Customer table. This part is from orders table. You can see that this ID is not this ID. This is order ID. Just because it is ID, don't just say, just combine them, join them. You will not get any answer. This is all wrong. So please understand this conceptually and do this. You cannot just follow some syntax. It will not work. So this guy has made some. What is the answer? How many orders has this guy made? 5 orders he has made, right? 5 orders and summing to something like 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, something. Okay. So the answer we know already. So now all we have to do is write a group by what? C.id, because there are 2 IDs there. There are 2 IDs in this table. So please specify which ID you are going to group by. Otherwise, you will, if you just type ID, it will SQL will complain which ID you want to group by. There are 2 IDs here. Okay. So we are grouping by c.id. And now let me be very specific here. I will just say c.id, and then what all I need? Okay, total amount. Okay, total amount spent, which is sum of O dot this one, right? Total amount. Let's give an alias to this, or we'll leave it. Let's keep it as brief as possible. Then we need count of what? We can just give count star itself. We will get 5 rows, but still let's be specific. O dot id. So we are first joining the table, filtering customer number 85. Again, I have used inner join here because since this guy has got answer, some data, our answer will be same anyway. So irrespective of it is left join or right join, our answer will be the same because this guy has made purchase, right? So there's not going to be any difference between left and right join. Sorry, left and inner join. So I'm taking this guy's name, grouping by it, finding the sum of amount, count of orders. So let's run this. And so 85, sum is this, count is this. Amount is 1,480, count is 5 orders. That's all. Try this. Again, if you want, you can add left also to this. We will get the same answer only. So left and inner, since this guy has made a purchase, our answer is the same. Let's put some arbitrary ID here. Let's make it 850. Let's make some arbitrary ID, and I hope 850 is not available. See, we are not getting any answer at all for some random ID. Whereas if I make it left join, I mean, of course, if that customer itself does not exist, then I will not get any answer. So I have to find out which customer is not there. So we'll do this at some other time. Okay, so I have to find out which customer is present but has not ordered. In fact, you can even answer that as a question yourself. Fine. So I'll just leave it as it is. So alias everything. So call this as total amount, and this is as count. So if you want to add spaces in your column names, you use backticks. Okay, count of orders. You are not supposed to use space in column names, but if you want to use space in column names, use backticks. This is backtick, not a single quote. Okay, so this is count of orders. That's it. That is all. So understand this and do this. So for safety reasons, I will just keep it as left join itself. I'll just keep it as left join. So you have to understand the scenario you are working on and then write the joins instead of just blindly writing some random join. Which one? Without the grouping, you are saying. I cannot run this because I've written some. Explain which part you want. Select this. This is customer ID. I'm displaying this. I have grouped by this. So in the previous state, we got 85, 85, 85. Lots of total amount, lots of orders, right? That was before aggregation. Before aggregation, we got a result set like this. That is 85, 85, 85, 85, 85. and then we got some 5 total amounts, and then we got 5 orders, right? So this is the table that I will get if I don't group. Now what I'm doing, I'm grouping by order customer ID, sorry. So that is that group by customer ID. Okay, so I'm grouping by this customer ID and I'm getting sum of the total amount, that is what is here, and then this column I'm counting, count of order ID. So that's got it. So first, see, so many things are going on here. First join is happening. So in what order of operations will this happen? First the join will happen, then the filter will happen, then the grouping will happen, then the aggregation happens. So 4 things are happening here: joins, then filtering, grouping, aggregation. We have seen filtering separately, we have seen grouping separately, aggregation separately. It's just that in this all 4 is happening at the same time, one after the other. Yes. We need to aggregate, right? How do I display the number 85? I mean, if you want, yes, you without grouping, then you will have to write min of CID over there. If you don't want to group, then that also has to become aggregation, right? C at C.id. That is what I explained yesterday. We are having the same problem, right? Yesterday, see, the answer is just one group. That is why group by llama over அதுவே 2 customer வந்துச்சுனா it will not run. So that's why I said even if SQL is running, you add the group by class. Okay, so yesterday we had the same problem with I don't know which table it was. One of the questions, right? Question number 1 or 2, I don't remember. Question number 3 something yesterday. You follow the syntax, that is all. You follow whatever has to be grouped only can appear in the select statement. Don't violate that syntax. Follow that syntax, that is all. So you guys don't type it exactly like this. First you do the join, then do the filter, then do the grouping, then do the aggregation. For that reason only I want you to listen and then try this yourself. What happened to this? Is the recording happening or not? Okay, so now let's answer the second question. Find the supplier name who supplies chai to us. I mean, I don't think this information is very complex. So let me just get rid of all of this. Find the supplier who supplies chai. So chai is what can be used to identify chai here? Okay, product name. Okay, is there anything else possible? No, right? Okay, fine. So the product name should be chai, right? And supplier information is present where? Supplier table. And how do I join these two tables? This ID and supplier ID, right? These two are related to each other. So that's it basically. Now all I have to do is perform a join and write one where clause. That is all. So I'll just say, so let me just join these two tables. Select from. So again, which join will you choose? Which table being left? Yes. So always the main question you keep it as the left table. Okay. So since they've asked for identify the supplier, you keep supplier as the left table. So I'll just say, so structure your query properly so that there is no doubt later on. So supplier, and I'm going to join, what is that table? Product. Okay. On, let's give an alias S and P on S dot ID is equal to P dot supplier ID. That's, I hope the spelling is correct. Okay. Supplier ID. Let me just put star here for now. So let's run this. So you can see that I am able to get a list of all the suppliers along with all the products that they have. Now let me just add a where clause here to this, where P dot product name, right? Product name is equal to chai. So let's run this. So we are getting only one supplier. This being the answer. Okay. So again, the join is irrelevant here, the type of join, because if what is the point of having suppliers who have no products at all? So even if you do left or right, it's left join, it is going to be the same answer. Okay, so I'll just see again, pick and choose your columns. I have just displayed all the columns. You guys pick and choose your columns. If you want ID, you select only ID, company name. So pick and choose your columns. I've just displayed all the columns. Yes.
டேபிள் நேம் கொடுக்கலன்னா எப்படி சார் ரன் ஆகக்கூடாது சார்? எப்படி தெரியும் எந்த டேபிள் எடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு?
Where class?
கொடுக்காம போட்டேன்.
See, if it's a single product name ஒரு டேபிள்ல தானே இருக்கு. அப்பனா பிரச்சனை இல்ல. ரெண்டு டேபிள் இருக்கும்போது தான் பிரச்சனை. எதை ஃபில்டர் பண்றது அப்படின்றது. But you use it as a practice. You give alias for all the. You don't bother about this situation at all. Better give alias for everything. Okay, it's a very simple question. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So display the city-wise total products ordered and their total amount. So which information do we need? City-wise, right? So we need the name of the city. Okay, city is here. Then city-wise total products ordered and their total amount. So see, I mean, you can interpret this question in whatever way. When they mean total products ordered, do they mean how many products or how many orders? Sorry, you understand what I'm saying, right? Because I can make just 2 orders, and in one order I can have 10 products, right? So that is what I'm asking. So how do you want to interpret this question? Total products ordered or just total orders? Because in the first question, our interpretation is number of orders. I did not go into number of time products got ordered. I just counted number of orders. That is all, right? I just counted number of orders. So, but here, since they mentioned total products ordered, so what do you want to do? Because if I have to count the number of orders, I will count here. If I want the number of products, I have to count here. Right. So for example, let's say this guy Paul, this guy orders, say some order 8, say he orders one order 14. How many orders is this? Just one. In that, let's say there are 3 product IDs, 1, 10, 12. So if you want to count how many orders this guy has made, he has made only one. If you want to count how many products he has ordered 3. You understand what I'm saying? So depending on how you want to answer this, you have to count different things. You have to count different things. So I'm asking you, what do you want to count? Let's count the products. So then I have to add this quantity also into consideration, right? Because this product ID 1, he could have just ordered 1. This product ID 10, he could have ordered 2. This you could have ordered 5. So total products, how much did he order? 5 plus 2, 7, 8, right? 8 products he has ordered. So depending on how you, so this is why interpretation is very important for these kinds of questions. This can be the answer, this can be the answer, this can be the answer, right? So whether they're asking for unique, if they ask for unique products ordered, then this will be the answer. Just want the order, total products ordered, this will be the answer. Number of orders, this will be the answer. So let's see, let's try, let's see which is easiest for you at this point. So let's do one by one. So whenever you write get SQL questions, especially using joins, think a little bit before you start writing your queries. So we need city information and we need city-wise products, right? So what are they asking? City-wise total products ordered. Okay, so we can just make it very simple by just joining these 2 tables. Our life will be very simple if we count orders, right? If I just join these 2 tables, I can just count how many orders, and just sum the total amount and move on. Whereas if I want to add the total products, then I have to join this table again with this table, and I have to do some further processing to get the quantity and all those things. Okay. So first let's limit ourselves to this for right now. So I will just interpret. I'm just saying my interpretation, and I will just interpret as total orders. Okay. I'll just interpret as city-wise total orders and their amount. Okay. Like I said, there are 3 possible interpretations with 3 possible answers here. Okay. So I'll just interpret it as this city-wise total orders and their total amount. Okay. So ensure that you are clear, so that if somebody asks you why did you write this query, you can also say, see, this is what I interpreted it, so that is what I am doing. So your question was not clear. Fine. So what information do we need now? We need again customer table, orders table. But now how do I join these 2 tables? What is the relation? So how do I identify? So I don't want customer based orders, right? I want city based orders. So still I will just join these 2 tables using customer ID. I'll get a bunch of data, right? I'll show that information. So first let's join these 2 tables. So select from, I will do a left join here again, city being the left table. So customer is the left table, left join, right table being the orders O on C dot ID is equal to O dot customer ID. So let me just pick some in columns. From customer table, what column do I need? City column I need, right? Then I need, for counting total orders, what do I need? O dot ID I need. I'm not doing aggregation. I'll just write the table and show it to you. And then I need O dot total amount. Okay. So I'm just getting this information. So this city. So let's take Berlin for example. Berlin has made how many orders? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 orders. This is the total amount. I'm not further expanding this. See, I can further expand this there, right? I can say this order 396 contains 5 products. You understand what I'm saying? Like I wrote on the board, I can expand this further if I want, but I'm just limiting myself to this. So that's why I changed the question slightly to be very specific. So now what should I do? These are all the rows that I'm getting. So what should I do? Group by what? Group by city, or I'll just say group by 1, and then count the order ID and sum the total amount. So this is the answer, assuming I'm getting city wise total orders and the total amount. Okay, so Be specific with your answers. Just don't give a generic answer. Yes. That is why if you want, we can expand this. That's why I edited the question total orders. If you want total products, we can do this also. So for example, okay, everybody listen. Say for example, let's say display the city wise, display the city wise total products and their total amount. In that case, what you have to do, I'm not getting the total orders, I want the total product, right? Now this also I cannot use, this also I cannot use. Why? Because yes, the product information is in some other table, right? The product information is in which table? Product and then quantity. This will be sufficient. I mean, I don't want to go beyond product ID. If you want, you can add this table also. But so I will leave it to you guys to answer that. If you want total count of product, I've answered for orders. You guys add one more join here and answer for products. Okay, so I'll just leave that up to you. We'll solve that. Just first complete this, then add one more join and count the total products. Again, I can expand that further and do something else also with it. This is, see, I told you, right? Syntax is completely useless without context in SQL. These are simpler problems. More complex your problems become, the more you have to be very clear in your thought. So this is city, right? So I'll just keep this as city Berlin or something. So you add one more join to this and count the total products. We will do that as well. Just complete this. Then we will do the next one as well. Okay. Fine. So did you get this answer? City wise, Yes. Total product. Yes. கவுண்ட்க்கு அப்புறமா ஸ்பேஸ் விடாதீங்க இந்த மாதிரி. புரியுதா? ரன் பண்ணுங்க. Okay, so இது on top of this query, what should I do? I need to get more information, right? I need to join one more table. What is that table? Order item. I have to join this table called order item. Let's call this as OI. And these with this result of this table, what condition should I add here? What is the relationship between this order item and this orders? Which one? This ID is related to which key? Order ID. Okay. So this is related to this ID is related to this order ID here. So I will say on O dot ID is equal to OI dot order ID. Okay. Now what will happen is I will get some extra information now. Now I have product ID that I can count, right? I can now count product ID. So instead of counting O dot ID, I'll just count OI dot product ID, and total amount I can just leave it as it is here, because I can either leave it as it is here, or I can just do multiplication of unit price into quantity, which is going to be the same, right? Which is going to be the same anyway. If I have, see, if let's say order ID 14 is worth 1000 rupees, in this he has purchased these many products totaling 1000 rupees. So why do I need to do unnecessary calculation to get 1000 when I can just get the 1000 from here itself? Okay, so I'll just get the 1000, that total amount from this place itself. So if you want to count the number of unique products, okay, these are count of, let me just put okay, these are count of products without, I cannot call this count of unique products, because I cannot say, for example, let's say that some person has bought toothbrush for 2, paste 2 quantity, some other guy has also bought toothbrush for 3. How many count will I get here? I'll get 3 only, right? In this case, I will get 3 only. So these are the products that are ordered. Technically, if we want to actually get how many toothbrushes, paste and everything, I have to add this. So let me add that also to, if you take whatever you want as the answer, because you have to be very specific in what you want. So I'll just say sum of order item dot quantity, right? Okay, so let me just run this. So if you see, let me also add count of, let's why leave information, O dot ID. So if you see, this is what I'm talking about. So you can see that each order is having only one product. I don't know why that is. So our assumptions were unnecessary completely. Each order was containing only one product only. So this assumption, this does not work in our DB. Our DB, nobody has ordered, in every order they have added only one product. But is that the reality always? No. Okay. So Berlin has made 12 orders. These 12 orders has got each one product only. So 12 products. These 12 products, how many quantity was there? 174. So 12 products only were ordered. But then if you want to actually call this as quantity, 174. So any one of these 3 can be considered as total products. You consider whatever you want. Okay. And this is the total amount. So this is what I was saying here. So I have done this, I have done this, I have done this. Count of orders, count of products, count of quantity. You cannot do count of quantity, sum of quantity. Okay. So that's so in case of SQL, your interpretation of questions are very, very important. So this is how you do multiple joins. So this was the previous join. So you can see that I added one join clause here, table on condition. That is all. So just complete this, and we'll leave for a break. So I have given all 3 of this: count of orders, count of products, quantity, and then total amount. We need repetition. We need to solve so many problems so that this becomes second nature to you. Okay. அது ஓடுதா அது? உங்களுக்கு அது ஓடிச்சுல? Yes. Your doubt? Yeah. See, this whatever we have written so far is less about SQL and more about understanding the DB. Please try to understand this. Our answer came not from SQL syntax, but more about how the DB is interacting with each other. The data tables are interacting with each other. So this is why domain knowledge is how operations domain knowledge. They call this domain knowledge, right? Without domain knowledge, you cannot do analytics on that. Okay, so you need to have some idea of how the customers, how this table is working with each other. So I was under the assumption that one order contains multiple products, but here I think this is a dummy table. So in reality, one order will have multiple products, but here one order is containing only one product inside. Okay, so you have to be very clear about your assumptions here. So this is more about understanding the question, understanding the problem, and then writing your query. Okay, so again, I will keep this as left join itself. So whenever you do multiple joins, don't forget this left over here. Here it doesn't matter, but write everything properly. Otherwise, what will happen is something else will creep up in between. Okay, fine. Go for a break. We come back and keep solving the remaining ones. Okay, settle down. We'll continue. Okay, so this was what I was talking about. This question number 4. They're asking you to identify customers who have not spent any money. So how will, so guys, settle down. So how do you want to approach this problem? Names of customers who have not spent anything at all in this. They have just registered, who have not spent any money. So how do you want to, how will you do that? Can we just count the orders and wherever the order is 0? Can we just count the orders? Wherever the order is 0, can we say that those customers, they have not made any purchase? Yes. So what I will do is, it's the same thing. So it's the same as question number 1. It's the same as question number 1. So what I'll do is, I will just count the order IDs. I will not have the where clause. And let's see what happens. So you can see that there are some customers who have 0 orders, right? So these are the customers who have not made any purchase. So I will just add one where clause to this, saying, so, and I can say having, right? Having count of orders equal to 0. That's all. Very simple. So all I'm doing is same as question number 1, but I'm just taking the count of all the orders and I'm just only listing the customers where the orders is 0. That's all. Exactly same as question number 1. There we did it for 85, as customer ID 85. So here there is no 85. All the customers. So this is customer number 22 and 57. These 2 guys have registered, but they have not made a single purchase so far. Any doubts, ask me. I hope all of you are getting the same answers. Say, I do inner join here. See, I'm not getting any answer. This is what I said. Okay, so if I do inner join, there is no answer. It appears as if there is no customer who have made orders, right? So for this, you have to left join. There is a very clear difference between inner join and left join. You cannot do inner join here because those customers have never made orders. So you cannot do inner join here. You have to do left join. So this is what I was story that I was saying for the first question. That story is playing out. Okay, so be very conscious of the type of join. That's what I'm saying. I've seen so many professionals write inner join for everything and say that there is no answer. So be very specific about the type of join that you choose. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me ask the others. So for the previous question, for question number 3, what answers did you get? The same as I got, or did for this one 12 same answer? Okay, so can you check whether you have left out any rows? It is possible you have not inserted some rows into the table. Just check it. Just check how many rows are present. I mean, I don't know. How many rows are you getting for this answer? I'm getting 69 rows. You are getting 69 only. So I don't know. Only possibility that I could think of is did you put left left? It doesn't matter here. Left join is irrelevant. What could be the reason? So you're getting all the cities. So count of order itself is not there. So can you check how many rows you have in your orders table? I'm having 830 rows. How many rows are there in orders table? 830 only. Okay. So by that itself, you should get 12 here, right? Count of order ID. So did you make any mistake in this statement? Just check these two on conditions. So that loss of data is not the concern. This on condition and this on condition. Just check. Customer ID, order ID, order ID. That's also correct. I don't know what else is triggering this. Then for that city, you should get 12 orders only, right? If there is no such problem. Is there any difference in, did you group by something else? Did you check that? One only, city. I have no idea. Then this is very weird. You should get the same answer as mine. City, order ID. Should get the same answer only. What makes this different? Can you paste your code in R for sure? Okay, see, I'm telling you this that this has been exercise has been more about understanding this system rather than joins. Join syntax is very simple only. Same inner join, left join, right join. Syntactically, there is no difference altogether. But it is this conceptual understanding that helps you write what syntax to use where. Okay, again, I'm saying here inner join will not give any answers. So if you choose the wrong join, you will not get any answer. Okay. Let's check. What is this? You have not aggregated this? Just paste it. I will also paste mine. Run it and see whether you are getting still the same answer. I'll paste what I have written. Just run that one as well. You also paste yours. See, for the next question, they're asking display the customer IDs who have spent the least amount. So should I include these guys who have not spent as the least, or among the guys who have spent, I need to find least? Amongst the guys who have actually spent, I need to find least. So what join should I use? Inner, right?